was talking, I wanted to make a joke when she started. So a lot of jokes come to my
Yeah.
just pop up, and I went to say, oh, she's gonna write a book, and then I thought, no, this is a serious moment, and then she said, I might write a book, and I was like,
Hey. But there are more weird stories, man. If you take a look at if I go to, for example, Tanika Ray. I don't know if you ever heard of her. She's a TV host, and also someone who has been in Hollywood for a long time. And this is what she had to say about Diddy. Zoom in a little bit.
We all have stories.
Are you here?
Seriously, we all have stories. Mine is horrific, and only 5 people know it.
Fair use.
And I probably will never tell it. But since then, I've been like, yep. And I also am very intimately aware that you tell your truth and you become victimized over and over and over and over and over and over. And mind you, I then interviewed him many times. I have a lot of stories, y'all. I've been in Hollywood for 25 years, maybe longer, 30. I got a lot of stories. Unfortunately, maybe I'll write a book one day, but it just is so traumatizing that women just want to live every day and feel safe. And when we revisit and revisit, we live in a state of victimhood, and nobody wants to live there. So for those who are like, why didn't you say something then? Because we just want to live. We want to be happy, and we really want to forget the trauma. So there's that.
Crazy, man.
yes. As she was talking, I wanted to make a joke when she started. So a lot of jokes come to my
Yeah.
just pop up, and I went to say, oh, she's gonna write a book, and then I thought, no, this is a serious moment, and then she said, I might write a book, and I was like,
Hey.
I think so. I think because she mentioned it's hard for women, it's hard for men too. Apparently, I
Yes.
think women do get it more. Women do get it more for sure, but men as well. And the
Even
funny thing
more, I
is
think,
here,
because it's even more of a taboo when people do, you know, do you as a man. You get set up.
yeah, but but quantity wise, I think women go through it more.
Oh, yeah. I
Oh
mean
yeah,
like that. I mean, I thought you were meaning as in
the
the process
effects,
of the impact, and
coping.
also
Yeah, yeah,
being able to express
yeah,
the things you
yeah. So I don't think coping. So
experience.
yeah, so I can. So yeah, I wasn't referring to the coping. I was referring more to the amount. And
Mm.
yeah, maybe the coping is hard. I wouldn't say that it's harder for men because you never know what people are going through. You can never measure it.
Yeah.
Everyone experiences it differently. However, I do think that the difference is that when men go through it, they talk less than they would share it less easier than women would because yeah, in that sense the taboo does play a role. But hey, he's falling down. Some people are praying for Diddy.
The demon is
Uh,
falling. I think people are praying. You're right on that. Some people
yeah,
are
some people
praying, but before we go to praying, let's because there is also a story. I don't know if you heard about that one, the Torre one. Torre telling the story of intern
no, I don't think so.
family. So I'll play it real quick. This is so the stories of Daddies go from one spectrum of the gender to the other. He doesn't discriminate. It seems like.
So are you saying like on the spectrum there are two?
Well, there's
Let, let,
always
let, let's move on, man. I don't want to set you up. Let's.
you gotta set me up. I'm gonna walk down that door and spray and pray. Pause. No daddy.
I was personally
Can you hear it?
disturbed many years ago. Okay,
Fair use.
I know this man well enough to call him and say, hey, I need a favor.
Yeah.
And this might have been 10, 12 years ago that I called him and say, hey, I have a family member who I want you to hire them as an intern.
Yeah.
And I have never talked about this publicly. And he said yes. And they were flying around, one of the interns, Atlanta, Miami, whatever, on the jet, in the house, whatever. And then the internship stopped abruptly, like 3 or 4 months into it.
Yeah.
And I spoke to my family member, like, well, what happened? And they wouldn't say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did it end? He wouldn't say. And years later, they finally came out, and this is a male, and said that Puff had said, come home, stay the night with me, or the internship is over. And they said, absolutely not. He said, absolutely not. And the internship ended. You know, I was personally.
So everyone has a story. But Diddy been a weirdo, by the way, because there's also, and I'm not saying it out of nowhere. This is a lawsuit that was filed in 2015. His former personal chef settles work claim suit with rapper. The chef claimed during this lawsuit that one time she came a bit later to work because of traffic. She started working on the breakfast, and then he requested her to make a breakfast and bring it into his room, and he had one of his girls were over there. When she brought the breakfast, she knocked on the door. They said, come in, and they were, coming in, literally. So she's felt harassed during that situation. And there's a lot of things that have been going. I mean, there's stories about the Bieber. I don't know if you remember the Bieber story where Bieber stayed 48 hours with him. You have the Usher Flavor Camp. These stories pile up. All these stories keep piling up, and it's not helping his case. The man has been doing weird stuff, man. Even I think we talked about Uncle Luke before, like two or 3 months ago, about his allegations, and even Uncle Luke had something to say about this, and how he saw the whole thing happen. This is Uncle Luke for the We in Miami podcast. Shout out to them. Fair use, by the way.
Was like, yeah, we want you to come and be in this video. You know, I ain't on every scene, you feel me? And so they were like, yo, come on by and do the video. I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know, now we got Wayne, we got Drake, we got all these people here and everything. And I was like, I don't give a you know, it's just not my vibe.
Right.
You know, they're all cool people, you know, but I don't just move like that because somebody is someplace. And we'll send a jet and all that. No, I don't need no jets and all that. Right. Long story short, after the video was shot, then it was all these articles. I guess they had the press set up. Uncle Luke and French Montana and Drake and Wayne and all them. And then I'm like, I don't know nothing about this song. So people start hitting me. I was like, I don't know what the that is.
Right.
You know, and that was, you know, then it became a little, as if it was a little beef. And I was like, yo, bro, I don't have beef with nobody.
Did French Montana look out? Like, did they cut you a check? Did Diddy cut you a check?
No, I ain't want no check. I ain't want no check.
Why not?
If it was done the right way, yeah, we'll negotiate, you know,
Right.
through people, but I don't want checks like that.
Right.
Yeah, I just let people have shit.
All money ain't good money.
I was about to say.
Right,
Did you
shit.
party with Diddy a lot?
Oh, no, not really. I would go to the party and leave early.
Why wouldn't you stay? Right?
I go to the party and leave early. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know what goes on after hours, but
He wasn't trying to find out.
I wasn't trying to find out. You know, I know my place. You feel? I know my place.
I wonder how. Got to know your place. When how did Kat say it? When Daddy asks you to party, you
You gotta tell him no. You gotta tell him no. I did.